Hello there, and how are you doing today? I'm so happy to have time to share with you today, and I have got a great little topic for you that I'm hoping will help you take care of that little question of getting things done. When I took the Dale Carnegie course, one of the exercises we had to say is, I know men in the ranks who will stay men in the ranks. Why? I'll tell you why. They simply lack the ability to get things done. Do you lack the ability to get things done? Or do you find at the end of the day, you've checked off your to-do list, everything is done? Do you have a to-do list? Very important if you want to get things done. But first, let us go to the National Day calendar. A couple of good thoughts from that today. Not everything is about a national day. They also put in other interesting little bits of trivia. So first of all, today is Cream Cheese Brownie Day. Now, I did not make cream cheese brownies, but I did make lemon brownies, which have no chocolate in them whatsoever, but they call them brownies. I gotta tell you, the recipe is so easy. It's like you put everything in a bowl, stir it up, bake it. While it's baking, you wash the bowl, make a little glaze with some or drizzle or whatever you want to call it, with some confectioner's sugar and lemon juice, and put that on the top of the brownies after they start to cool. They are so good. You know, you cannot get lemony flavor from things that are, you know, like the little flavorings and stuff. There's always something that's not quite right in there. So, it was a wonderful thing. It wasn't a chocolate brownie, but it was a brownie. Now, as far as important dates that relate to now, one of them is that in 1840, Prince Albert, Queen Victoria married her German cousin, Prince Albert. Yeah, that's what they do in the royalty. They make marriages very often for political reasons. And let's just stop. Just stop. We're not going there. Not going there. Okay. So on that day, Queen Victoria married her cousin, Prince Albert. Now, yeah, if you're younger than 40, maybe 50, you may not have heard this before, but I think everyone else on the planet that's over 40 has. Prince Albert actually has a tobacco brand, and they make tobacco for cigarettes, cigars, and pipes. And and it would come like the cigars, of course, wrapped. The cigarette tobacco would come loose in little packages, and the pipe tobacco would come in a tin, in a can. So when we were kids, the big deal was to call the tobacco store, or the store that carried, tobacco, and say, do you have Prince Albert in the can? And if they said yes, we'd say, you better let him out, he's going to suffocate. So if you're younger, you might think that's quite amusing. If you're older, you're going to go, oh my God, groan. That's what's called a groaner. But also, here's another real interesting highlight for today. In 1961, today was the day that the Niagara Falls hydroelectric plant was turned on, was open. And the reason I wanted to mention that today is because it's thinking out of the box. It's another way to create electricity without, Niagara Falls is a natural source. So they use the natural power of the falls to make power. So I think that was pretty phenomenal and important, and it goes to show, don't always think out of the box. In the box, try to think out of the box all the time. Box is not good. Okay, so now let's get on to today's topic, which is the power of now. Now, the power of now is an amazing book by Eckhart Tolle, and it's full of great information. We're not going to cover all that information today. We're just going to put in a little smattering of what was in the book, The Power of Now, plus a little smattering of my take on it and like that. And but I do encourage you, if these thoughts entice you, they inspire you, go get the book, get the audiobook. Well, for me, the audiobook was more difficult than the book. For one thing, the book is so deep. You're going to want to highlight it and make notes and look back at it after. The second thing is that Eckhart Tolle speaks in such a calm and quiet tone, and he kind of goes on and he tells all about it, and it makes people like me go buggy, because I'm on a little bit more speed there. So you may not like the, I don't know, if you like slow talking, then you might like to use the audiobook instead of the regular book, but it's very full of good stuff. So there's a few premises that come from that book. One of them is that you are not your mind or your thoughts. In Unity we say, I have a mind, but I am not my mind. I am spirit. That spirit directs mind. And we also talk about a higher mind and a lower mind, which is a matter of consciousness. Life is consciousness. But, so you're not your mind or your thoughts. So let's just put that down. If you make a mental note. The second one is incredibly mind-boggling and powerful. It's one of those things that's simple but not easy. It's powerful. The present moment is all we will ever have. The present moment. And so we live from moment to moment to moment. We live in the now moment. And it's up to us to make sure that at the end of the day, and we look back at our were moments that went from now moments to past moments, and we see if we're pleased with them. It's all you got. If you want to always have a good and a pleasant life, and a life where you feel that your reason for being is fulfilled, that you're enjoying your life. Our life is such a gift. You know, when I talk to folks who have left someone they love has passed on, and they can't, of course, be with them in this way that we are accustomed to anymore. And I tell them whatever it was that you best loved about that person, whatever they did that was that inspiring, show them that love by being that way, by doing that way. So if they were always friendly and outgoing. Now, my friend Kim in Texas is still on the planet. But I remember when I first met her, I was amazed that she was so pleasant to everybody. She always said hi, always had a smile. I mean, sometimes my mind gets wrapped up in what I'm doing or whatever, and I'm just kind of focused. And as a matter of fact, back in the day, back in the 80s when I was a bartender, I did not make as good a tips as some of the other bartenders made, because when I focus, I frown. So people would think I was mad or crabby or, one of those B words. And in all reality, I was simply focusing. So I kind of undid myself a little bit with my facial focus. So watch out for that. Whoops, hang on a minute, I just lost my screen. Trying to get rid of one of those pop-ups, which still are coming. Okay. What I was going to say, though, you only have the now moment. Okay, so at the end of your life, if we try to enjoy every moment at the end of this life experience, we are going to feel that we lived it well if we took each now moment and enjoyed it. You don't have to be doing something big and important. You don't have to be having a party. You don't have to be, you just enjoy everything about the now moment. When I walked home from my sister's house today, it was Mahjong day, so we were playing Mahjong, and I won twice, so it was a very good day. But I was just enjoying looking around at the sky and the grounds of the campground and just loving the now moment. And I invite you to try to find ways to love the now moment, every moment. Sometimes that's not easy, especially if we're experiencing pain or a tragedy or anything like that. That happens. But we still want to try to make it through and not let those sad, angry, mad, unpleasant now moments, painful now moments, don't carry them into the future, because that will affect your ability to manifest what you want. We accept that it happened. We handle it the best we can. We try to remember to trust God and move forward. When I lost Sammy, that was really, really hard, I gotta tell you. And for a while, I would be very disappointed in myself for being a unity minister and being so down and so angry with God and all that, you know. And I did my best to condense that period of pain and suffering into taking up as little of my now moments. I immersed myself in it when it was happening. And when I got to a point where I knew it was time to stop, how'd I know it was time to stop? Because I started to realize how some people could commit suicide because the pain would be so bad. Now, I never had the thought of doing it, but if you start thinking about, this is so painful, oh my stars, what if I had let that now moment of pain cause me to leave this life experience? When I think about the times I spend with the people I love, telling stories to the campers, writing novels, talking to you right now, I would have lost all that. So yeah, you're going to have negative moments, and they become more meaningful now moments if you can get into the suffering and get through it, okay? So I'm not denying that sad, bad, unhappy things happen. Just don't give them the power to ruin the rest of your life, okay? And the third one, just what I was kind of talking about, that we accept what is. We can say, oh, I wish I'd have done this, but I never did. And well, what is? Don't look at what wasn't or what won't be. My vision of what my life was going to be was very different than what it turned out to be. But that doesn't mean it's not good. And yet each one of us has so many choices we can make in that now moment. So you may have noticed that we have this voice in our head going on all the time. It tells us all kinds of things. It tells us, oh my stars, what a wonderful day. Or it tells us, oh, I felt so stupid when I blah, 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 blah. Or it tells us, you idiot, you're going too fast down this road. Or you'll tell me, I don't like you, you scare me. Or in the Eastern philosophies, they call that your monkey mind. And your monkey mind goes all the time. And the goal of being able to be in the now moment is the ability to tone down your monkey mind and be its mastermind. We want to mastermind our monkey mind so that we can not let ourselves, a downward spiral begins with a negative thought, and then you say, yeah, that's right, and that happened, and then that happened, and then that happened, and that does not get us where we want to be. That gets us way down in the dumps. Whether it's our mistake, someone else's real or perceived offense, whatever it is, we have to move on from it. And don't let it come into our now moment and make us unhappy. So the voice in our mind can say positive things and it can say negative things. And sometimes it's not even our voice. It could be our mother's voice. A lot of times that happens. Because if you listen to me any time at all, you always hear me say, well, my mom always said, or my dad said. And so we have those voices going on too, but those are basically based in our own mind and our perception of what was going on in that moment in time. So our goal is to break free of the monkey mind and to be able to just be. A lot of people are challenged with this, but it's not as hard as we make it. We make it like we need to have this special formula, we need to do something, and there are tricks to getting past the monkey mind stuff. But I think one of the most important tricks that you can use right off is to say, I have a mind, I am not my mind, I am spirit. And to say, okay, that happened, what's good about this? Oh, that's a good one. What's good about this? So even if you're having, let's say you did something really stupid, because I don't know, I do it all the time. Do you do it? Because if you're not doing it, you shouldn't be here on the planet. That means you've learned what you had to learn. But, so if you find something that you did and you say, well, what's good about that? Well, what's good about it is if you learn something, you're not going to do it again. That works for me. We want to be able to separate who we are from our thoughts. Now, in Unity, we teach our thoughts are things. And the more we think about our thoughts, the more that we, generate them, that is what we manifest, for better or worse. So you wonder sometimes, who's driving this monkey mind of mine, Well, basically, for most of us, we're on autopilot. It just goes. Our mind just goes. A lot of times we don't even think about our own thoughts. They say we have like 800, some scientists say we have like 800 thoughts in a day. Well, 800 thoughts go through our mind very quickly, probably in an hour. I think for me, sometimes in a minute if I'm really cooking. But we have to just, and you know what? Did you realize your thoughts are connected to your feelings? So you can feel, not only do you think your thoughts, you feel your thoughts. And sometimes you're unconsciously thinking a thought, but you're feeling it, and you go, what's that about? What's that about? And maybe you're feeling, all of a sudden you're feeling down for no reason, and you go like, why am I feeling so down? And then you realize you're in a place, like for me, if I'm walking around the campground, like sometimes we have a little gazebo, we do weddings and stuff, and it's where I married Samantha. No, I did not marry Samantha and Peter there. I married them in the log cabin building, but I did do the baby's christening. Tristan's christening was there. I did Sammy's memorial service there. So sometimes I'll be walking along, and I like to sit in it. It's my little private chapel. And I will sometimes, I'll just feel sad, and I say, why are you feeling so sad? And it might be, remembering when I did the when I did the memorial service, or even that poignant moment when I remember how tiny, Tristan was when we did the christening, or just all kinds of things like that. So our mind is just, it's a source of amazing potential. It's like magical, miraculous, because we have such a power. But if we don't learn to control it, it's like if you ever saw, when there's a storm and they say that the power lines came down and there's this live wire and it's all over the road and its sparks are coming out the end. Well, if we want to control that, we want to be calmly high-powered, we have to learn to control our thoughts and direct them where they want to be. And a big part of the issue is our consciousness, which is our mind, has two levels. It has the lower level, which is human thought and human emotion. And then it has a higher consciousness, which is intuitive sensing. It's intuitively. We're getting that from a higher source, from a higher good, rather than from our lower nature, our animal nature, our human nature. Now, our human nature does not want to be ruled. That's why Adam and Eve were booted out of Eden, metaphysically speaking. It was our thoughts and emotions that thought we wanted to be smarter than God, but we did not have the skills to do it. So we were brought here to planet Earth to learn mastery of our powers. You cannot steal. See, that's the difference between magic and metaphysics. First of all, magic is an illusion. It's not real. We can think it's real, but it's not real. What is real is metaphysics. It's cause and effect. It's connecting with your higher mind. So metaphysical is way better than magical. Magical is an illusion. Now I got off track because I tend to do that. I'm sure I was going somewhere with that. It'll either come back or I'll bring it up another day. But what I want to deal with is procrastination, because the lower self is very self-centered and lazy. We know we're thinking with our lower mind if we're thinking about I, me, my, and mine. We know we're thinking with our higher thoughts if we're thinking about we, our, ours, a higher thing. When the little mind is when the human nature is also lazy. It doesn't want to do anything. It wants to do what it feels like doing. That could be sitting on the couch and watching soap operas and eating chocolate or drinking beer or whatever. The higher mind is connected to aspiration, to visions. When I say visions, I mean to what we're here for, to why we're here, the gifts and creativity we were meant to express. Now, I told you I just started writing again, and I'd been praying for that for a while because I was in a writer's block slump. It felt like a prison. And I had to for a number of months. I didn't even try. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. Well, guess who didn't feel like it? The little I, not the upper I. Okay? So what I started to do is apply, my prayer and meditation time and saying, I'm going to write. I want to write. And sure enough, I did start to write. And I pray that this will be a good long run and I'll finish that story I'm working on and finish up the novel and the other 2 books I want to get done and more. Hopefully more. But if I procrastinate, it's not going to get done. Now, the other day, I was brushing my teeth. And when I was brushing my teeth, that little thing that you plug up the sink with? I don't have one of those. I don't know. It never was there when I got the apartment, and I never thought about it. But sometimes if you're brushing your teeth and you lean over, you look down there and say, that was kind of skimy down there. And I cleaned it not too long ago, and I said, I really got to clean it again. I said, I'll do it tomorrow morning. And then I said, no, I'm going to do it now. Do it now. We are so inclined to put it off until tomorrow, you know? And you don't want to do it tomorrow. You want to do it now. And I went and I did that, and I just felt so good, so accomplished. You know, there are times you don't want to just jump into something blindly. You don't want to be impulsive. You want to be inspired. So sometimes if you're like questioning, not like you're being lazy, like you're questioning, I don't know, is this the right thing to do? You know, one time I went to back in my Catholic days, I went to confession. And confession in the 60s went from being in, well, I guess it was probably at least the 70s. It went from being in the little booth with the sliding, the sliding door to being face to face. And you had your choice. You could either be in the little confessional, or you could be sitting across the desk from the priest. And one time I was pouring out my heart about some stuff that was going on, and the Monsignor said to me, when the time is right, you'll know it. Well, and when the time was right, I knew it. And that stayed with me all my life to this point, and hopefully beyond. That there are those things that you don't just jump into. But don't let a thought like that, you've got to analyze that, and you've got to say, is this my higher self, or is this my lower human thought? And if it's a thing like, excuse me, excuse me, if it's a thing like cleaning the sink, taking out the trash, cleaning the litter box, all those fun things, changing the sheet, just do it now. Just do it now. Stop letting your inner child be spoiled. Right? Okay. Oh gosh. Okay. I want to throw out. Let's see. I got a few minutes left. I want to talk about the power of a list. If you start, the best part is to try to make your list the night before. That way you wake up in the morning and you've got your marching orders. So if you got stuff you want to do, and I wrote down on my list, write. So every day I did something. If it was even a little thing I wrote something to move my work forward. So with a list works in your mind and in your time. And it helps you to master your time with what you feel inspired to do. And remember what I said about the list? Always handle the ugliest thing first, and then the rest of it will just flow. And that's about what I'm out of time. But I like to throw in that mad world thing. And this one I have got no... I've got no metaphysical lesson to go with it. It was just like, it was a forehead slammer. I read this in the news. A drunk man who was reported missing participated in the search for him. He was looking for himself. Do you ever look for yourself? I did once. Do you know where I found myself? California. Do you know where I found my passion for ministry? California. Did I make a lot of mistakes on my journey? You betcha. But they made me a better person, and hopefully a person that can inspire others like you. So, have a wonderful rest of your day, and God bless you good.